We welcome you into episode number 21 of the No Stop podcast, and Declan Waters has made his return for the first time in 2 months because he was busy with baseball and other things. It's only a little boo-boo, but he is
Yeah, it's
back, and you know what else is back? The NBA playoffs. Now, we can't talk about the NHL playoffs because no New York team made those
mhm,
playoffs, but the
kind of
New
sad.
York Knicks are now one win away
From advancing.
from advancing. Exactly. Now, I was I'm very proud of the way that the Knicks have been playing, but it's
Yeah,
like they're too inconsistent. They were up, I believe, by 16 in the game today, and then they blew it all and had to come back down 10
yeah.
in the fourth quarter. That can't happen in the
hmm
second round. And also, another thing that cannot happen in the second round, Karl Anthony Towns' shot selection.
Yeah,
Cat's
because
shot selection's terrible.
yeah, and he's like when he gets in that spot, like you saw today, he was clutch in the end.
Yeah.
But if he could get better shots, then we blow the Pistons out,
Yeah,
and we're
exactly. Thank
easily
you.
in.
But I'm not even going to say it's all his fault. There have been a lot of ups and downs, and we've
Yeah.
been talking about it, and I'm sorry that I have to keep going back to this, but the Knicks don't run plays, and you know whose fault that is?
hmm
Coach Tom Thibodeau. Run
Yeah.
plays. Like, you're not going to succeed if you're just worrying about rebounding. And by the way, you got completely bullied on the offensive glass. You could not get a
Yeah.
defensive rebound to save your life. And another thing we should talk about is how today the Pistons were bricking, it felt like every single shot, and yet
hmm
the Knicks were allowing them to shoot. And
Yeah.
then they got hot in the second half, and then look what happened.
hmm So
Great
like
job,
you give
Knicks.
this team, yeah, you give the team you give the Pistons, and then you give whoever you play in the next round, you give them shots.
Yeah.
And even though the Pistons miss, the team that you face next round, they
Yeah.
probably won't.
Yeah, I
They're
mean,
already in round two of the NBA playoffs.
yeah.
So you're going to give them shots already, and they're going to miss.
Yep.
But you got to learn, like Tom Thibodeau, run plays, use
Thank
your
you.
bench. You
Yep.
saw what campaign did
Yeah.
in the game one.
Yep,
Trust him
exactly.
more. Trust
Yep.
him more from the
I
game
mean,
one.
I mean, he did have to trust him because Jalen Brunson went down with an injury,
Yeah,
and everybody and their mother was holding their breath. I was like,
yeah.
I was live on the channel, and I was like, oh, this is not good. If he goes down, like I literally said this on stream. This reminds me of Derrick Rose going down
Oh God.
and turning his ACL. So that's why I was like, please be okay. Please don't be anything terrible. And then he came back and it felt like nothing happened. He
Yeah,
may have been struggling to walk, limping here and there, but
yeah. A little
he
roughed up.
he uh he's the captain and he showed why he's incredible. I mean,
hmm
so what if he sprained his ankle? It looked like nothing was wrong and he actually played really well, I thought, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
Now it's
he
back
did his
to
job.
MSG. Now it's
Yeah,
back to MSG.
for
They
game
better win this
five.
game. They better win this game because the next time they
Yeah.
play in front of their home crowd is either going to be in round two or in game seven. This team cannot
hmm
go to game seven. I'm sorry. They're going to be
Yeah.
bumped up. Like you saw what happened last year. They were bumped. They were all like roughed up by the time they faced the Indiana Pacers. Indiana forces game seven,
Yeah.
advances on them. The Knicks right
hmm
now, I would say, are 90% healthy because Jalen Brunson, we don't know about that ankle, but he should be
Yeah.
okay. They have 1 day of rest tomorrow, so hopefully that's going to be the day where he really gets it massaged and puts ice on
hmm
it and works it out. So, I mean,
Yeah. Make
but
sure that
yeah.
that goes smoothly.
Yep, exactly.
Brunson had 32 points in this
Exactly.
game.
I mean,
No problem with it. I
yeah.
mean, especially his time playing, his number of
Yeah,
minutes was 39. Bridges had 44.
exactly. I
Josh
mean,
Hart 42 minutes, and they're putting up less points. So
yeah.
it's reasonable point scoring for Jalen Brunson, another player. Carl Anthony Towns,
Yep.
27 points.
Yeah.
You can't get angry at that with how
Yeah.
long these guys are playing.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
you go.
No. You continue. You continue your thought. You're gonna say
I
something.
truly do believe that they will figure this out. I mean, like you said,
Yeah.
they're going home, coming back to MSG for game five. There's no reason you lose this next
Yeah.
game.
Exactly. I mean, the one thing I would say is that I really wish that Coach did play more of his bench. I do,
Yeah.
but at the same time, and the reason why I'm saying that is because Landry Shamet has been a capable scorer here and
Hmm.
there. Thought he would get more run in this series. Campaign, you've seen him. Mitchell
Yeah.
Robinson and Cat, I love that duo. Keep
So do
playing
I.
that duo because you're gonna get results. You're gonna get results. It's gonna be
Hmm.
like the Minnesota Timberwolves last season with Cat and Gobert, but now
Yeah.
you're kind of decreasing, but it's still the same idea. But I
Hmm.
also want more out of Mikal Bridges. I think he shot.
Yeah.
I mean, he had clutch threes today. Not gonna lie, one of them was extremely lucky. He was falling away in the
Hmm.
corner and it rattled in. But
Yeah.
I think he started off the game shooting 1 of 9. This is a
Hmm.
guy the Knicks got and traded away 5 first round picks.
Hmm.
5 first round
Yeah.
picks. You're trying to get a blue chip prospect. You're trying to get a blue chip player, and he's giving you 1 for 9 to begin the game against the Detroit
Yeah.
Pistons. Now,
He had 8 points in this total contest playing
yeah,
44 minutes.
exactly. Terrible. But again, he hit clutch three, so that kind of evens it out.
Hmm.
But like there are so many loops and holes that makes this series so stressful. You could be up by
Yep.
20 and be like, "Oh,
Exactly.
let's go, we're gonna win this game." But then you have to
And
realize,
then,
"Oh
yeah.
shit. Oh shit, coach isn't gonna make any adjustments at all." And then you're down by
Yeah.
10. That's how
Yeah.
that's
I
how it's
mean,
been going.
in game one, what was it? It was 21 and overrun, and then
Yep.
it's like they had leads up to like
Yeah.
13,
Exactly. I
and
mean,
like throughout the entire series, and then these they
yeah,
they
exactly.
allowed the Pistons to get back into this game and force another
Yep.
game.
Yeah, I mean, you know what this kind of reminds me of, Declan?
Well,
Last year's Yankees.
oh
Last
yeah,
year's Yankees.
definitely
Because
not finishing the
you
job.
had Aaron Judge and you had Juan Soto and you had a god tier offense and I would say a god
Mhm.
tier defense. And then you
Yeah.
had Clay Holmes and he would
Mhm.
throw the game away and then
Yeah.
you had to come back or you would lose the game. And
Yeah, he had a crazy amount of blown saves last year.
I mean, yeah, I mean, there's a reason why he's a Met now. He's starting now.
Yeah.
He's had a good, I would say a solid to mediocre, I guess I would just say mediocre
Yeah, that
start
would work.
for the Mets. I mean, he'll probably get better as a starter because
Hmm.
it's a big jump from closing to starter, I would say.
Yeah,
And I think
change.
he's handling it really well. But a guy who hasn't handled getting to the Yankees well, Mr. Devin Williams.
Hmm.
Terrible. What is his ERA up to? Like 9.6? Like what is
Yeah,
it?
it's
It's
high now.
terrible. It's
And
like
like, didn't Boone say that they're moving him out of the
Yep,
closer spot?
exactly. Today, I saw it and I was like, thank the Lords.
Yeah.
Dreamweaver time, baby. Luke
Yeah,
Weaver
I
is going to be
mean,
the closer for the foreseeable future. I mean, I think it's just that Devin Williams feels all of the pressure of coming to a big market team like the Yankees.
hmm
He was okay in Milwaukee because they're like the little brother to New York. So
yeah.
he was fine there, and you saw it multiple time All Star, one of the best closers in the game, and he just hasn't been handling it well.
Hmm.
So you just got to give him time. I like how he's doing it now because
Yes.
Boone, I think, has learned from his mistake with
Hmm.
Clay Holmes. He kept him in too long at closer, and
Yeah,
then
that's
you saw
definitely
what
true.
happened. You saw what happened. But you know what? It's all right. It's all right because the Yankees
Why?
won the series against the Blue Jays. So we're all
All right,
good.
yeah.
We're all good. We're all good. And JC Escarra, congratulations. First career home run.
Congrats on your first home run.
Yeah,
JC
exactly.
Escarra, you're 30 years old, but we still love you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, what a notable story for him. He was an Uber driver
Yeah,
like 2 years ago, for crying out loud. And now he's hitting home runs in
yeah.
the Bronx. Sorry, one home run in the Bronx. I mean, you just gotta love it. Hopefully more, but you gotta
Yeah.
love the story. I mean, but going back to the Yankees, man, Frank Grisham, another surprise.
Hmm.
Who needs
Yeah,
Soto? Who needs Soto? Not the
yeah, that's
Yankees.
true.
I mean,
You saw a glimpse of it last year during the "We
yeah, I
Want
mean,
Soto"
yeah,
chants.
yeah, yeah.
Grisham goes
Oh
yard,
no,
but
no, and guess who was there? I was actually there. I was there, and I was
Uh,
one of the chanters. And now I'm like, no, I can't say it's gonna be too explicit, but like F1 Soto.
yeah. Now
Like
we're
now
mentality change.
we've completely flipped the script on him. But
Yeah.
once
At
the
the
Yankees,
time of recording, the Yankees have just beaten the Blue Jays
yeah,
5-1.
yeah.
So you love to see it.
But the Yankees, once they're fully healthy, they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with. Now,
Hmm.
obviously, Garrett Cole is gonna be missing the year with Tommy John,
Yeah.
but you need more from the starting rotation. Now you have Warren's out, Shields out, Carrasco's
Hmm.
out, and Stroman's out. Once Heel
Yeah.
comes out, there'll be 4 out of 5 starters. And Clark Schmidt, not a great start against the Guardians. But that's
Mm-mm.
because it was his first game back from injury. And then today,
Yeah.
great game. He had,
Yeah.
last I saw, he may have had more, but pretty sure when I was watching it last, he had 6 strikeouts. So he really wrecked the Blue Jays today. So can't ask for
Yeah.
any more. You really can't.
Stat line for Clark Schmidt in today's game was 5 innings, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 4 walks, and 6 strikeouts. And with that kind of production, you really can't be angry.
Yeah, exactly. And he's what, their fifth, he's gonna be probably their fourth or fifth starter this year. So it's
Oh
like
yeah,
if you're getting that production from your fourth or fifth guy, you're
you're
gonna be
not
really
angry.
good. It's only late April. It's still really early in the season. You
Hmm.
saw last year the Astros were terrible, and then they were
Yeah.
able to come up the rankings. Same thing with the Grimace Mets, you know.
Hmm.
And now Juan
Figure it
Soto, I'm
out.
not I'm not sure if he got it yet, but Juan Soto's been terrible in Queens. But he
Hmm.
may be getting a standing ovation soon, and then he may go off for 50 home runs this year. You never know.
All right.
You
Yeah.
never
Well, there's
know.
always a chance, is what we'll say.
Yeah.
But
I mean, speaking of chances, there's always a chance that some of the NFL prospects drafted to the Giants could be busts. Now, I'm not saying they will be busts,
oh, like, why would you even put that out there?
but there's always the chance. Now, I'm not trying to be salty. I'm not trying to be like a Debbie Downer here, but you know, it sometimes happens. People get overhyped and they either fall in the draft, Shador Sanders, or
Hmm.
they get overhyped and then they completely fall apart and their game doesn't transition into the NFL. However,
Yeah.
the Giants best draft ever. Best
Yep.
draft ever.
I
And
can
I
believe
I
that.
actually saw a comment on a live stream about this guy who's been a Giants fan since 1983.
Oof.
And he said this was the best draft class he's ever witnessed coming from the Giants. And honestly, it all started off with Abdul Carter. That
Yeah.
third, I was live streaming that with my friends, and we were like, we me and this one kid who was actually on the podcast. Shout out to Joe Reverso. We were like, we were sitting there. We were kind of nervous that Joe Scheon would screw up the pick, and then Abdul
Yeah.
Carter. We just got up out of our seats and we were just like, "Let's go, man!" Like huge pickup. And I'm saying that
Yeah.
because the last time the Giants amassed great success in the NFL was when they had the best defensive line. And now they have the best
Hmm.
defensive line. Not only
Yeah.
do you have Dexter Lawrence and Abdul Carter now, you have Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Bobby
Yeah.
Okereke. Like, that's 5 right there who are going to be
Yeah.
disruptors. And Chauncey Golston, a guy who you went out and drafted or went
Mhm.
out in free agency to get.
Free agency.
Huge, huge key pickups. And I liked what Joe Scheon said.
Yeah.
You can never have enough edge rushers. You can never have
That's
enough.
definitely
Like,
true. That's true.
if you want to be successful in this league, you have to have a great run defense. And this, I have it pulled up on ESPN. Jordan Renan's take is this: the direction of the Giants is now clear. Build up the defense, the pass rush in particular, and let that be their strength of the team. Carter joins Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, Dexter Lawrence, and Bobby Okereke to give the Giants a front seven that can strike fear into opponents, resembling some successful teams of their past. Carter was the kind of prospect the Giants couldn't bypass at number 3. He was considered by some teams to be the best player in the draft. It wasn't difficult to go this direction with the general consensus that this wasn't an especially strong quarterback class after Cam Ward, who went number one to the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. I think that
Yep,
we're in a sense where the best offense is a good defense, and I think building out this Giants defense is going to be
yep,
so great, and it's something you definitely
yeah,
need to accompany some other draft players who you
yep,
drafted, including Jackson Dart and
yep,
Cam Scatterbo. I
yeah,
love the Jackson Dart
yep,
pick
yep,
because you get a guy who was not bad at his pro day, not bad
yep,
in the showcase. So
yep,
you see him, and you're letting him develop under Russell
yep.
Wilson.
And Jameis Winston. Like,
Yeah.
I know he's gonna sit. It's fine. It's fine if he sits. He's got to learn. But if
Hmm.
everything goes to plan, he is going to be. He could be a Bo Nix to Josh Allen type of player in the NFL. I would
Yeah,
say.
definitely.
And even Brian Dable said this kid has a lot of stuff. He basically said this kid has a lot of stuff that reminds me of Josh Allen, who
Hmm.
was the offensive coordinator in Buffalo when Josh Allen was there. Who developed him? Brian Dable. So you see
Yeah.
that the connection. You see the connection, and I just feel like that's gonna be Jackson Dart's gonna be a great player, and I'm
Yeah.
interested to see what he can do in minicamp, rookie minicamp, uh, OTAs, rookie minicamps, uh, camp like the mandatory camp, and then preseason because there is a world right now he's quarterback 3 on the depth chart. Tommy Cutlets
Hmm.
is quarterback 4. So right now I would say that Tommy DeVito is going to be full-time practice squad player
Hmm.
because you need 3 quarterbacks on your team during game days now. So
Yeah.
Russ, Jameis, Dart. Russ, Jameis, and Jackson. Those are going to be the
Hmm.
3, which means that there's a possibility that Cutlets can get cut, but at the
Yeah,
same
but
time, you need a practice squad guy. So
yeah,
it's
it'll be a
very
good practice
intriguing what
squad.
they're going to do here. But, at least it's not as bad as the Cleveland Browns. They have 5
Yeah.
quarterbacks now. Like,
Hmm.
we're going off topic here, but, like, you're going to select Dylan Gabriel, which sort of
Yeah.
makes it
And
clear that
then
you're not going to draft Shador Sanders, and then you go out and draft Shador Sanders
and then
anyways.
you go, yeah.
It's like,
And you already have Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco and
yeah,
Sean
and
Watson.
Deshaun Watson, who may not play a single down. You never know.
Yeah, probably
But he
not.
probably will.
But I do like Jackson Dart. I like
Yeah,
his accuracy, and he likes to
yeah,
run RPOs, which I think is going
yeah.
to be very useful.
And he's not afraid to run
Especially,
the ball. He's not afraid to run the
yes,
ball.
yes.
And he
And the
actually,
RPOs.
and you see it. He steps up in the pocket. He has great.
Hmm.
I think he has. He'll get better. Obviously, he's only going to
Yeah.
be a rookie. But for him, great pocket presence, and he was actually known. Daniel Jones wasn't really known when he was
Hmm.
drafted.
Yeah,
So
I
you
mean,
get the difference there. So I
yeah,
mean, great pickup by the Giants, and
yeah, and
they doubled down on defense. Not only did they get Abdul
hmm
Carter, but they got possibly the best defensive tackle in the run stopping game. Yes, I know he is an older prospect. I think he's going to
yeah,
be 25 when the season starts.
hmm
And that is Darius Alexander out of Toledo, who was drafted in the 3rd round. I mean, they need the run
um,
defense. Worst
yeah,
run defense in the league. And he's one thing that he was one guy that was really good at that. I mean, and now you have some competition at the defensive tackle position. Now,
hmm
he could start next to Dexter
he could.
Lawrence, but
That,
but there's gonna be a little bit of competition there because you still have Raheem Nunez Roches, you have
mhm.
Chauncey Golston, Roy Robertson Harrison, Jeremy Ledbetter, but I think not Jeremiah Ledbetter. I don't think he's gonna
Mm.
last, but
Yeah,
the other
me
few, I think they will.
either.
So I
But I
mean,
like Darius Alexander. I mean,
yeah,
you saw him at Toledo, and he was
yeah,
great for a defensive tackle. He's very fit. I mean, you saw his combine. He was super fast for his position, and I
yeah.
think they're just gonna add. They're just gonna stack up this defense, and it'll work.
I mean, again, going back to what I said about Abdul Carter, you can never have enough defensive linemen. And that's what they're
Hmm.
trying to do. They're making it really clear. They're making it very clear which direction they want to go. And that's getting back to the identity of having a great pass rush and run rush. If that makes any
Mhm.
sense. Like getting after the quarterback,
Yeah,
getting
no.
after the running back. And oh my goodness, it's gonna be great. It's
Mhm.
gonna be great. But yeah, Cam Scatterboo, people are saying could he
Yeah.
be the next Saquon? And the
Mhm.
fact the fact that he fell all the way to round 4 kind of surprised me.
It surprised me too.
I mean,
I
he
mean, you
could have
look at
fell.
Scatterboo.
I mean,
Yeah,
he
he
could
could
have
have
got
gone way
drafted in
farther.
round 2. And you know what?
Yeah.
If some dumb team decided to, round 1. You never know. I mean,
I mean, it's all there's always a chance.
yeah, I mean,
I mean, you saw Scatterboo against
yeah,
Texas. Like, he did
exactly.
everything.
We were
I
talking
think he'll
about
be a
this.
great compliment
But
to
Declan, you got to go
Tracy.
back. You got to go back to like that Texas game. We were talking about Cam Scatterboo possibly being a Giant back in January. In
Yep.
January, 4 months later, almost 5 months later, look where he is.
Yeah.
Look where he is. Or
I mean,
3 months, almost 4 months later, look where he is.
like,
Giant.
in January, you could walk around and say Cam Scatterboo could be a great Giant, and everyone would shut you down for the fact that we have Tyrone Tracy. And I'm not
Yeah,
saying Tracy's going to get sad anymore because of Scatterboo, but you could just look at the Texas game and see that this kid Scatterboo can do more than
yeah,
just run the ball. You
yep.
saw him catch the ball, you saw him even throw the ball once, and you look at it,
Hmm.
he could conceivably turn into an RPO kind of guy,
Yeah,
or even maybe just nice flat routes
yeah,
on as a wide
exactly.
receiver.
I
He's
mean,
useful.
yeah,
He's useful everywhere.
exactly. He can even throw you a ball 41 yards for a touchdown if you need it. Like
Exactly.
he's gonna be a great runner. He's gonna be a he's actually a really good pass catcher for
Hmm.
his size. So again, what is he, 22 or 23, I think, right now? It
Yeah,
sort
let
of
me.
has, and I'm not saying this to like glaze him or anything, but he sort of has some Christian McCaffrey written all over him.
He does, and he's 23 years old.
Okay, he's 23. Okay. Um,
Yeah, but I like that comparison to McCaffrey.
yeah,
I mean, obviously, well, McCaffrey was out last season, right?
yeah. I
'Cause-
mean, here and there. I mean, McCaffrey was he got injured, then came back, then got injured again, and then like
yeah.
that's why the Niners looked terrible. Uh, but one of my friends thinks they're gonna win the Super Bowl next year.
Oof. Uh,
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna
I don't
happen.
know. Yeah,
But
me neither.
this is
Think
an
it's a
interesting
good team
thing.
for the future.
I'm still looking at ESPN with Jordan Raanan, and he said, and I lose track of this because I don't have great memory. I don't think. Um, this is the third straight year that Joe Scheon has taken a running back in day 3.
Yep.
Eric Gray, Tracy, and now Scatterboo. He's
Mhm.
still trying to replace Saquon Barkley, but Saquon Barkley is like a once in a lifetime type of player, I would say.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but it's all right. People are calling Scatterboo the next Barkley, but I mean, he's just so intriguing, man.
Yeah.
He plays with that dog in him. We were talking about
Mhm.
it on our mock draft episode. He just has a dog in him. He like you
Yeah.
saw, he was throwing up on the sideline and then he came
Mhm.
back and played. He
Came
can
back in.
run through multiple defenders like they're not even there. Like,
Yeah.
and if you look closely when he's wearing a helmet, he does look a little bit like Christian McCaffrey. He does. Like
Oh
the
God.
eyes look like Christian McCaffrey. I'm not saying that
Uh,
again, but like
maybe a little
my
bit.
goodness. Cam Scatterboo, and you saw how much it meant to him. He was
Yeah.
emotional and stuff. Like,
Playing for Arizona State and playing
yep,
in the college football
yeah,
playoff just meant so much. And
yeah,
then draft day,
yeah,
how much it meant to him.
yeah. And shout out to our buddy Rome Cady, who goes to Arizona State. He's
Yeah.
one of the biggest Cam Scatterboo guys, and we were going back and forth earlier, like during the playoffs, and he said he's gonna be a giant. And look,
Hmm.
he basically said he's gonna be a
Look
giant, and
where he
now he's a
is.
giant. And he actually posted something on Instagram a few days ago that he sees Cam Scatterboo being running back 1 on the Giants.
Mm.
He sees that.
I
So I
mean,
mean,
you'll have to see what it comes to
yeah,
at the start of the season. You got to see how good Tyrone Tracy's doing and what it's gonna
yeah,
look like for this. future of this Giants team, but
Yeah.
I mean, conceivably, you could see him going
Yeah.
for RB1 position.
Yeah. I mean, but again, you got to look at it. And I said this a lot as well lately. A lot of the good NFL teams have great running backs, like running
Hmm.
back duos. And now the Giants, could they possibly be added to that mix? Because now you have Scattaboo and Tracy. Those should be the two running backs that get the most touches. Now, you still have Devin Singletary, but Devin Singletary's kind of been a little
Yep.
upsetting.
Hmm.
We'll see, though. I mean,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
Giants got
definitely.
him because he could hold on to the football. He didn't do that as well as they thought. So we'll see. I mean,
Hmm.
right now, I believe Eric Ray is running back 4, Scattaboo 3, Tracy 1, and Singletary 2. But again, we're only at the end of April. You still have all of May, all of June, all of July, and then you have August, and then you have September. So
Yeah.
it's gonna take time. I mean, we'll see.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
the
You got a
Giants,
while.
the Giants got some offensive
The
line help.
problem with the problem in the they did. Hold on now. I got to think back to free agency.
Oh, go ahead.
Hold on. You go. You go.
Well, I would say, and the
All right.
Giants also added some offensive line help, going with Marcus Bowe, the guard out of Purdue in round 5.
Marcus Mbow, yeah.
So I think this is a really good
Hmm.
pickup. Not only is he a guard, which the Giants, I was saying they need a guard, center, or tackle, but he also played with Tyrone Tracy, so there's some familiarity there.
Yeah.
And you saw some of the
Hmm.
clips, I hope. He was able to stop Abdul Carter. Now, the
Yeah, it was.
this is why I like Marcus Bowe. He played right. He could play right tackle, right guard, left tackle, left. He said he thinks he could play every single position on the offensive line, and that's what I like about it.
And you
Is
will
that
take that.
they could use him
Hmm.
anywhere, especially Greg Van Roten is old, so you're probably gonna move on from him. Joshua Azudu's been a bust. Evan Neal's been a bust. I mean, actually,
Hmm.
Joshua Azudu, I believe we got a little bit
Yeah.
later, but Evan Neal's been the quintessential bust on this team. And then you got Jake Kubis, who I believe was a UDFA last year. So right
Hmm.
now, for me, it really comes down to Greg Van Roten and Marcus Bowe for this spot. So
Yeah.
again, there's a lot of competition. I love it. I really love
Hmm.
it. So I mean,
And I
we'll
did
see.
remember correctly, the Giants re-signed Aaron Stinney during the
Yeah,
free agency.
yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. I was like, what? Why do you have to go back to free agency for? Like,
Yeah, I
but yeah,
know.
they did re-sign Aaron Stinney. Man,
Greg Van Roten.
there's gonna be a lot of competition this year, and a pick that I
Yep.
didn't get though that much was Thomas Fidone, the tight end out of
Hmm.
Nebraska, because you drafted
Little
a tight end last year.
interesting.
You drafted a
Yeah,
tight end last year in Theo Johnson. Daniel Bellinger's headed into what, year 3 or year 4, and then you had Chris
I
Manhertz, who
think
is
it's three.
a blocking tight end. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how they use Thomas Fidone, but I think these last 2 picks, the round
Yeah.
7 picks, I think they may get cut or practice squad. Like cut and then
Hmm.
added to the practice squad. Now,
Yeah, I could see
maybe
that.
Thomas Fidone gets some reps. Maybe he actually surprises us in the offseason and earns a spot on this team as like possibly a fullback slash tight end sort of blocker, or as a
Hmm.
slot tight end, which is what he played a lot at Nebraska. But I just eh, I don't like the pick that
Yeah.
much because there were other undrafted free agents that I would have rather had, like maybe
Hmm.
Isaiah Bond out of Texas, get him out of wide receiver.
Yeah.
Maybe Kobe Bryant,
Hmm. I
who
wouldn't have
actually
been
went
angry at
undrafted.
that.
He's the biggest surprise that went undrafted because the Giants
Yeah.
had two. They had two chances to get Kobe Bryant, and they didn't get him. I wanted Kobe Bryant as
Hmm.
a cornerback, but they got Corey Black instead.
Yeah.
I
Who I think
mean,
is also a controversial pick.
yeah,
I mean,
they needed a
to
cornerback
not
though.
take it. Yeah,
They needed a cornerback, so I guess they just went Corey Black, and they have
instead of
signed
Kobe
some.
Bryant.
They have signed some UDFA's. Now we're not going to get that
Hmm.
much into depth right now on the UDFA's just because it's still early and we just wanted to
Yeah.
get the NFL draft stuff done. But it's, I mean, some of the guys are pretty good. I'm gonna look up real quick. Where is it? Come on, it'll take me a minute. But I looked it up, and some of the guys the Giants got are I think could be really good. Like,
Hmm.
let's see. Let me find it. I know.
And I
One
think
of
that'll be big,
yep.
developing
Oh,
the
yes.
younger
They got the
generation.
25th best undrafted free agent according to ESPN, that being
Hmm.
Daquan Felton, the wide receiver out of Virginia Tech. I
I'll
mean,
take that.
just need to build up the depth, and this is what I feel like Joe Shane's been doing a really good job of. And I
Hmm.
now have a lot of faith in him to be a great GM for this team because he's handled the pressure really well. He's handled the pressure really well. When his job is on the line,
Yeah.
some GMs may be like, "Oh, my job's on the line. I have to get like, the best players available." Blah 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 blah. No, Joe Schoen was cool, calm, and collective, and
Hmm.
it showed out in the draft. He's taking chances on a lot of
Yeah,
guys
definitely.
in undrafted free agency. I mean, they got what's his face, Jackson Dart's buddy out of Ole Miss.
Hmm.
Drawing a blank on his name now, but they got his buddy out of Ole Miss, a wide receiver. Oh, Wells
Hey, I
Jr.
mean,
I'm blanking on his first name. I'm
oh
trying to
well, you'll
find him.
take that connection, right? You
Yep.
brought up another one with Tyrone Tracy,
Yep.
and I think connections will be big this year, especially at the quarterback position. But I think that I like how Shane is going about this, getting dart
And
plays, and
Antoine Wells Jr. He's a
oh,
wide
okay,
receiver out of Ole Miss. But yeah, they um they have had a lot of success with the undrafted free agents. Notably last year,
hmm,
Elijah Chapman. Remember that? I think it was the
yeah,
preseason game against the Texans. He ran a
yes,
good 65 yards to track down whoever
hmm,
the quarterback was in that game or running back.
yeah, and
Joe
you'll
Shane's
take
giving
that
these
any
guys
day.
chances. And you know what? And I made this pun because I'm really bad at humor. I made this pun, I think it was on the live stream or something. Joe Shane is throwing darts at the dartboard and hitting the bullseye every single time it feels. And quite literally,
Yeah, he'll take
he
it.
threw a dart and got a dart at quarterback.
Hmm.
So
Okay, that was not funny.
I know I'm really bad. I'm
But
sorry,
I
guys.
mean, you'll take it.
Yeah,
And you got a good companionship for Jackson Dart.
yeah,
Got a nice guy with swagger and Russell
yep.
Wilson. I'll
But
be
now
excited to see how that
let's go
pans
to
out.
the defensive side of the ball. I'm curious to see what Shane Bowen does because
Hmm.
Abdul Carter, this was his first year playing on the edge, and incredible. He is Micah
Yeah.
Parsons 2.0. That's his his pro comp. That's why he wore number 11. But he played
Hmm.
on the edge for the first time, so I'm wondering if he's gonna be linebacker sometimes,
Yeah.
edge. Like I'm wondering where
Maybe a
Shane
little
Bowen's gonna play him.
versatility could be
Yep,
good.
yeah, and that's another thing is that, and we talked about this earlier with Cam Scattaboo. A lot of these guys that the Giants drafted has some versatility. Like, I think Darius Alexander used to be a defensive end, another
Hmm.
edge
I
rusher.
think he did at Toledo.
So it's like where are all these guys gonna play at the? Which means if there's a lot of versatility, that means I think that this team's in a good place. And this
Yeah.
team, I think the over under win total is 6.5 right now from Bet
Ooh.
MGM, which I believe is the same as last year. I could be wrong, but
Mm.
this team has the
Is
potential
integrated.
to be close, I would say, to that 2022 team that went to the wild card, but then
Yeah.
got blown out
I
by the
think this
Eagles.
new team.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's a new
blown out by the
team,
Eagles.
new identity. I mean,
Hmm.
and I
And
saw
that's
a
going to be
post.
important for Shane.
I saw a post that Cam Scatterbo and Tyrone Tracy after rushing for a total of 300 yards every game, and it was like them hitting.
I
And I think
mean,
it was Bradshaw and I forget who it was, Jacobs, the running backs on the Giants from about 10, 15 years ago. And they're like
mhm.
doing this dance together. And you know what? If that's
Yeah,
what happens every game, so be it. I mean,
yeah,
that'll be
you'll
huge
take that
for
as a
Giants
Giants
fans.
fan.
But now, ladies and gentlemen, the Giants' identity is passing the football, running the football, and getting after the quarterback and running backs. Now,
Hmm.
their secondary obviously got upgrades too, but we're back. New York Football Giants
Yeah,
are back in business, I
expect a
think.
big season.
I think it's going to be a big season now. If Shane and Dable do get fired, if the Giants have a horrendous season and that happens,
Hmm.
then at least they have set up the Giants for success. However, it may be a little bit of a tough one on
Roller
Jackson
coaster.
Dart. It may be a little bit of a
Yeah.
tough one on Jackson Dart because, I mean, to have your
Mm.
second GM, your second head coach, and your second year as a quarterback is just not that great, I would say. But
Yeah.
right now, we
And
got to
it's
live in the
hard
now.
with, yeah, Justin Fields had that problem too.
Yeah. So did pretty
Too
much
many
everybody.
GMs.
So did like everybody on the Chicago Bears. So
Hmm.
I mean, it is what it is. But you know
Yeah.
what? Those are the Bears, and according to Packers fans, the Bears still suck, and they do because they
All
just
right.
they just do. They just do. But
Yeah,
the
they do
Giants,
suck.
the Giants, man, can't wait for the Giants. Want the season to start today. That's how excited I
Hmm.
am. If the season started today, man oh man.
Yeah, I would
I
love this team.
like come on. This team is gonna be fun. This team is gonna be fun. We're gonna have coverage for you in the regular season a little bit,
Yeah.
preseason, here and there, rumors, maybe even. But
Ooh.
the No Stop podcast is also back. Me and
Yes, we
Declan,
are.
me and Declan are gonna be with you guys throughout everything, ups and downs, crying and laughter, everything.
Yeah,
But
we are
that
reaching
is that.
all the way back to our pockets to November 20th, where the first episode was just us speak. It will most definitely be an exciting run.
Yep. I mean, you know what? This is a team that is gonna have every single Giants fan watching football again. I feel like,
Yep.
man. But yeah, that's gonna do it here from the No Stop Podcast. Peace out.